Vive la République et vive la France!
Emmanuel Macron clinched another 5 years of French presidency on April 25th, with 58% of votes going in favor of him. He's the first French leader in 20 years to win a re-election. And while France was the country voting in these elections, the results have had an impact across Europe. So in this episode, we will learn what Macron's re-election means for France and more importantly for the continent of Europe. Let's start. The election numbers seem impressive, with the figures roughly being 58% in favor and 42% for the opposing side. In any democracy of this size, this would be viewed as a huge win. But the French political situation is actually much more ambiguous than these figures indicate. To understand that, we need to look into the election agenda and ideologies of the two main contenders and their parties. Macron and his party is considered more centre in terms of its political ideology, while Le Pen and her party are very much extreme right-wing. Although over the past, she has been able to significantly soften her image, focusing a lot more on some of the biggest issues in the country like cost of living, etc. This election is particularly interesting as this is the highest voter share that a far-right party has achieved ever since the formation of France as a country itself. 28% of the eligible voters did not cast their vote in this election, highest in the country since 1969. Many experts believe that Macron did not win based on his global inclusion policies and affinity for growth agenda. He won because not everyone voted and also because of many voters who gave him his mandate just not to allow Le Pen in charge. The ongoing Ukraine war and increasing cost of living for the French population emerged as the two main concerns for voters, partly the reason why Le Pen and her nationalist-focused party came so close to winning. But this French diplomacy contest is of high interest not just for the local people but for the entire European Union. Le Pen during her election campaign made it very clear that she intends to evolve the Union and the role France plays for EU. This is of utmost significance as France is the second biggest nation in the continent, holds a permanent seat on the Council and is also a major trade player for the continent. So many experts believed that if Le Pen and her party would have come to power, it would pose a major risk to France's membership of the European Union, the Eurozone and the Schengen area. On the other side lies the incumbent President Macron, who is known for his Eurozone inclusion and being a major proponent of a united union. His long-discussed proposals to make Europe more independent, especially in terms of food production, energy and defense, are now very popular among EU leaders. As the EU's second largest economy and the only big military power now that the UK has left, France has long played a leading role in Brussels and in NATO. So EU leadership and member countries are definitely taking a sigh of relief post Macron's victory. This feeling is also visible in Macron's win celebrations, where many EU flags were being waved with the French national flag. But this term would be critical for the newly elected. He might have the confidence of the EU, but he is walking out of this election as a leader of a divided France. In his victory speech, Macron admitted that this election was of a divided country, and that he'd do his best to heal those divisions. He has clearly stated that he will be and needs to be the president for all, even for those who did not vote for him. That won't be easy, and he knows it. The first looming challenge would be to garner a healthy majority in the parliamentary elections taking place next month. Whether Macron achieves his lofty goals, which includes deeper economic integration, greater independence from the US on defense policy, will hinge on his ability to convince fellow leaders to follow his lead. But the EU is certainly happy on his re-election, and France seems to be almost divided, which might be the bigger problem for this term. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, do drop in a like and subscribe to show your support for the channel. Thank you for watching.